So this is on First Looking into Chapman's Homer by John Keats by Madison and Sammy. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. Much have I travelled in the realms of gold, and many goodly states and kingdoms seen. Round many western islands I have been, which bards in fealty to Apollo hold. Oft one wide expanse I had been told, that deep-browed Homer ruled his Desmain. Yet I never did breathe its pure serene, till I heard Chapman speak out loud and bold. Then I felt like some watcher of the skies when a new planet swims into his king, or like stout Cortez when with his eagle eyes he stared at the Pacific, and all his men looked at each other with a wild surmise, silent upon a peak in daring. So basically, this sonnet is about this guy, and he's been like reading all these. He's read literature and experienced it before, but he like enters a new whole experience when he hears Chapman's play of the work of Homer, and it just like transverses him into a new existence to where he feels just so amazed and he's just in awe.
Some background information is John Keats. He is an English romantic poet born in 1795. He died in 1821 at the age of 25 due to tuberculosis. The Petrarchan, also known as the Italian sonnet, was named off of Francesco Petrarca, an Italian poet. However, he wasn't the one who developed it. The rhyme scheme is usually easier done in Italian due to its structure. The structure is divided into two sections, the octave, which is 8 lines, and the sestet, which is 6 lines. In the first part, it usually presents the problem or issue, and in the sestet, it gives the solution to the given problem. The rhyme scheme, A-B-B-A, A-B-B-A is in the octave, while C-D, C-D, C-D is in the sestet. In the first half of the octave, he compares realms of gold to the literary arts. Since gold is usually connotated with the term valuable, he expresses the knowledge gained from literatures just like gold to him. By using this metaphor, he shows the value of literature to a personal level. When he mentions states and kingdoms, he places himself in the position of a traveler who is experiencing all these places. By using this metaphor, he describes the diversity of literature. Throughout the first 4 lines of his sonnet, the phonetic sound of L is repeated multiple times. By using consonants, he makes the sonnet sound nicer when read aloud. In the second half of the octave, he compares Homer's works to air when he says the word breathe. By using this metaphor, he shows that just like air, he needs it to survive.
When a new planet swims into his king. For that I put personification because it highlights, and the purpose of that is it highlights the amazement the author felt with his awakening to the world of literature by connecting his experience to one of someone witnessing a new planet for the first time. He just felt so amazed and he was just full of awe. And yeah. Or like stout Cortez when with his eagle eyes he stared at the Pacific, and all his men looked at each other with a wild surmise, silent upon a peak in Darien, which is a simile. He compares the joy and awe he felt when he experienced this awakening into literature, which he hadn't felt before. He just felt like kind of neutral-ish, I guess. Well, he felt more not neutral, more like he felt something, but like he wasn't just amazed by it. He was just like, oh, this is pretty good. But then he just slid into like another plane of existence. So he compares that to when the explorer Cortez, to what the explorer Cortez felt when he first saw the new land when he came over to the Americas. That deep-browed Homer ruled at his Desmain, which is an archetype. And I put archetype for this because he references Homer. It's very popular at the time, and it's what he fell in love with and was inspired to write this sonnet about when he get like transversed into the world of literature. And for the theme of this sonnet, I put the power of literature is transportive, which is clearly shown when he's like talking about and making all these comparisons to all these great experiences and new wonders is like a new wonder for him. And he's just so amazed. And for the song, I chose Trade Mistakes by Panic at the Disco, with a specific line being, I may never sleep tonight as long as you're still burning bright. I chose this song specifically because it's one of the songs from an album which was written about the singer's wife, who he absolutely adores, and it shares like the same motif of amazement and wonder, like in a different context. Like he's amazed towards his wife in the same way that the author of the sonnet is amazed at being transversed into literature.